I've got the counter to what you was just talking about, Kira. There is this movement has been around for a while called MGTOW, men going their own way. They believe that not to get in a relationship, don't get with a single mom, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Oh.
And unfortunately, when we're talking about this type of stuff, this is the reason why that is getting so big. Because unfortunately, there's so many of them out there that do this. There really is. And these guys don't believe in the nuclear family. They don't. Well, they want to be. They want to be in that family. They want that life. But they said with the way that feminism in society is right now, we're not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's so sad because I believe in that traditional intact family, that nuclear family.
Men embrace MGTOW because modern relationships feel one-sided. Women reap the rewards while men do the heavy lifting. He builds her dream life, she cheers from the sidelines, and in the end, he's left drained with nothing real in return.
There's a whole group online called Men Going Their Own Way, MGTOW. That's a very interesting group to go study. There's lots of them. I don't know how many of them there are, and most of them are older. Many of them are men who've been through a particularly horrifying divorce for one reason or another, and they've had enough of women. So they tell the young men that they're teaching, never have a permanent relationship. Never share your territory with a woman. Never share your possessions. Make sure you never live together, and don't stay with one long enough to enter a common law relationship because you will be stripped of everything that you have. Well, that's a hell of a thing to be telling people, but what's happened is that the female has been manifested in their life only as the negative archetype. And
back then, nobody objected when men were drafted while women stayed safe. Now, men are told their only worth is sacrifice, meat shields, and providers for people who mock them. It's not unreasonable that men resent being treated like disposable tools while women dodge accountability.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking, we like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner. Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments. So please, drop it in the comments.
Men often sacrifice happiness for their families, while many women chase happiness at the cost of family. One man shared, he worked overtime, bought a house and car, while his wife stayed home. Then she left, claiming he wasn't present. She got the house, car, support, and a rich boyfriend. He got ramen and bills. Her life upgraded, his collapsed. His bitter lesson? Devotion doesn't guarantee loyalty. Sometimes it just bankrolls someone else's happiness.
You don't have to go far on the internet these days to find out that there is an ongoing conflict in the dating market between men and women. And the general consensus, if you look into this, is that men are no longer approaching women. And this is certainly corroborated by marriage statistics that are also on the decline. So with that in mind, if men are no longer approaching women and people are starting to not get married in as great of numbers, what is that going to mean for engagement rings as a product? This is a product that has upheld the diamond industry for a long time, that has also been disrupted by lab diamonds. So what happens when there's no longer a demand for this product that's been upholding an entire industry? I think that you're about to see a massive disruption in this product segment.
Who even cares about engagement rings anymore? Dropping stacks on a shiny rock for someone who might bail tomorrow is insanity. Diamonds aren't forever, and neither are most relationships today. Loyalty can't be bought, so why waste hard-earned money on false promises and fleeting affection?
I'm not saying don't get married, but what I'm saying is, when someone says, I'm getting married, why is it impolite to say, why? Why? You're about to do something incredibly dangerous that fails so much of the time. Why not just say, why? I'm not saying, why would you do that? It's stupid. I'm saying, why?
Don't get married. Modern laws and modern women will strip you of half your stuff without a hint of guilt. That's the brutal reality men face today. This is exactly why the MGTOW movement exists. Self-preservation over destruction.
Women should not have a high body count. It's going to hurt their chances of getting married to a quality guy. People in the comments will suggest that it's a good idea for women just to do whatever they want and lie about their body count later and pretend like the number is lower than it actually is. This is a horrible idea. Men can absolutely tell when women have been ran through by a bunch of guys because those women are totally unhappy. They've been used for their body. They haven't been at all cherished, appreciated for their work ethic, personality, intellect, you name it. They haven't been appreciated for it. These women start to feel worthless and empty. They start to feel cynical about not just the men who have hurt them, but actually about all men, including those men who haven't done anything to them. Men can spot this negative energy from a mile away. And so instead of lying about the body count, a better idea would just be to stop sleeping around.
Women who scream body count doesn't matter are usually the ones with the highest numbers. The truth? It always mattered. An old saying nails it. Women judge a man's future, men judge a woman's past. Today, women expect their history to be erased, but men aren't buying it. Many would rather walk away than settle for someone worn down by the streets. Standards aren't hate, they're survival.
I've got a question for the men out there, and please, for the love of God, don't get offended because I don't mean any harm by it. I don't mean any harm by it. So many men say that they're scared of women, okay? So many men say this. I've heard this to me about situations. What does this mean? What do men mean when they say they are scared of women? Are you actually scared of women, or are you scared of approaching them? Like, why are we scared? Like, I'm here to answer the questions that you need to have answered in the comments. I will 100% give you the honest truth about a woman or a situation that you need prevailing. But seriously, why are we scared of women?
Men are not scared. They just don't want their life ripped apart because women get bored. Men are done with your bullshit.
After building peace in a stock pantry, he's not trading it in for a spotlight with Wi-Fi and a crazy-ass mood swing. Reason number 3, peace over problems. You know what a man in his 40s likes? Silence, clean floors, a fridge no one's arguing in front of. He's not giving that up just because you showed up with a Starbucks order and unhinged drama. The quiet living room? That ain't loneliness, that's freedom. There's no arguments because I didn't read her mind fast enough while she silently rage cleaned the kitchen. Just silence and sanity.
MGTOW movement in a nutshell. Ain't nobody trading in their peace for some bitch and her drama. Companionship is dead, and so is chivalry.
There are more single men without kids than there are single women without kids. Yet the narrative online would make it seem like it's men out here that got kids and it's hard to find a man who don't have baby mamas. No, it's actually more in reverse. I always say the loneliest person is a single man.
In what universe?
In general, there are much more lonely men. And the loneliest person is a single man, not a single woman. Because again, if that single woman tomorrow decides, I want a man's attention, she can do a few things to make it happen ASAP. I don't care who she is. That man does not have those same avenues.
And you saying they're not getting no action, Jackson?
None.
Wow.
The average woman gets flooded with DMs, offers, and endless attention. Meanwhile, the average man doesn't see even a fraction of that. No love, no respect. Often invisible. Modern dating leaves most men lonelier than ever, overlooked while women bask in endless validation. The imbalance is brutal.
There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Alone is just a fact and that we can embrace and make decisions about. Loneliness has got an emotional charge to it, and that's very much a matter of perception. You can be alone and not be lonely, and you can be surrounded by all kinds of people and be completely lonely.
Absolutely true, being alone is a physical state, but being lonely is an emotional experience. Many people chase constant company out of fear of loneliness, only to feel emptier in crowds. Others thrive in solitude because they've made peace with themselves. Real fulfillment isn't about how many people are around you, It's about how you feel when it's just you.
A lot of what's going on with men right now, it's loneliness, it's isolation, it's touch starvation, it's suicidality.
Sexlessness as well.
Sexlessness. And it's no individual person's responsibility. But the real problem with this is that these are not problems that men can solve on their own. This is exactly why this is the problem that men are experiencing. Because as men, we are taught to be independent. We are taught to be, you should fix everything on your own. And so men have fixed all of the things that we can fix on our own. The only thing that's left is the things that we must rely on other people for, right? So no one's complaining about, I mean, a lot of men are obese, but there's not like an obesity, there is a crisis, but that's not what's bothering people. That's not where we're losing the war. We're not losing the war on baldness, right? So there are lots of things as a man that you can fix in your own life. It's just the real challenge is that no one is willing to take responsibility for any level of connection with men. And so that's not something that is going to get fixed because you need another human being to hug you. Like you can't hug yourself. It just doesn't work.
Touch starvation is brutal. It eats at you from the inside. Men today are drowning in loneliness. No intimacy, no affection, no outlet. Society shrugs, telling them to hit the gym, work harder, or man up. But none of that replaces human connection. Men are conditioned to suffer in silence, pretending pain makes them stronger, when in reality, it breaks them down. Loneliness is the real crisis, unspoken, ignored, and destroying lives. Men need touch and connection just like anyone else, but no one admits it.
You cannot convince the modern man that he has privilege because of how deeply miserable he is. The very idea feels ridiculous to him, because his ability to emotionally connect to his surroundings is broken by patriarchal hazing, which leaves him to numb his loneliness with indulgence and vice. This indulgence turns quickly into addiction. Addiction to substances, video games, digital media, physical intimacy, work, money, and power. He begins to engage with these addictions instead of experiencing social connection and reward, which divorces him from his neurological capability to do so. This is the male loneliness epidemic. It is entirely centered around addiction.
Addiction fuels today's male loneliness epidemic. Constant screens, empty habits, and disconnection kill real chances for intimacy. In our parents' era, dating meant building toward marriage. Now it's vague, shallow, and disposable. Men fumble relationships because real emotional bonds are replaced by distractions. Everyone craves closeness, but society avoids it, hiding behind devices and convenience. The tragedy? The more plugged in we are, the more disconnected and lonely men become.
Dude, men are f***ing lonely, bro. People don't seem to understand that. 77% of suicides, men. Every 5 minutes, a man commits suicide. Dude, like, who's gonna step up and be like, yo, I got you guys. Like, hey, you know, there's a couple guys, but obviously they're getting censored. Community is extremely important. And people bash and shit on communities, but communities that are oriented towards the development of self and authenticity will stand the test of time.
Social media disconnects everybody more than ever. It has made forming genuine connections harder than before.
So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right now, and I don't want to diminish that. That sounds really tough, but what I don't understand is why some men tell me this as if, like, I'm supposed to do something about it. Like, don't look at me. The most I can personally do is recommend you guys listen to Mitski, like the rest of us. Other than that, I feel like this is between you dudes, you know? And not to point fingers, but maybe if you spent less time telling women there's a male loneliness epidemic in an accusatory tone, and more time asking your boys how their heart is doing, this could all be over.
The problem, though, is that it's only to men that we would say, fix it yourself. It's only to men that we would say, it's your fault. It's only to men that we would say, sounds like men need to do better.
When she says, I don't want to diminish that. This is where you know she is about to try her best to diminish that. When women are struggling with something, they say, men need to step up and do better. But when men are struggling, they say, why should we care about your problems?
Usually loneliness, you know where it all starts? Not with your relationship with others, the relationship with you. When's the last time you were there for you?
I remember driving in the car and having one of those times when stuff started coming up. And I was like, yeah, but I'm older now.
Imagine I'm the aspect of you that feels really lonely and hurt and alone. Yeah. And I come up to you. What's your name?
Zach.
Zach. I'm like, Zach, I feel so lonely. would your response be like, you're older now, be more responsible? Is that what you tell me? Imagine that's your own kid. What would you tell that kid? Dad, I'm hurt and I'm alone. I feel very lonely. Would you hug him?
Yeah.
So why are you not hugging yourself right now? That kid's right there screaming inside. Come on.
One of the most healing sentences is, the person you are now is who you would have felt comfortable around as a child. Could easily just be written off as cliche, but it hits. Gentlemen, you're worth compassion and love.
With women, we rely so heavily on relationships outside of just our primary partner. But with men, it's like really they've been taught that women are the only safe outlet that they have, and therefore it becomes their primary partner and they're the only person that they're relying on. And then when they don't have a primary partner, it's like they feel like they have nobody.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a huge factor of what I believe is leading to this epidemic, is men don't feel like they are able to go anywhere.
So the tent pole, if you will, is group therapy. What you learn in terms of like understanding that you're not alone and you're not the only person going through this experience is wild. And I think aloneness is the precipice for why it's an epidemic.
Yes.
Right?
Men are often emotionally cornered into relying solely on their romantic partner for all forms of support. Society doesn't allow them space for vulnerability outside that one relationship. So when that tent pole falls, whether through breakup, divorce, or just never forming, it's not just heartbreak, it's total collapse. Women are encouraged to build webs of connection. Men are handed one thread and told to cling for dear life.
Most men walk the earth with this lone wolf mentality, right? We view the lone wolf as strong, right? The lone wolf is strong, he can handle everything on his own. I think if most men really understood what happens to the lone wolf, because his fate isn't pretty. The lone wolf dies. The pack is strong because of the wolf, and the wolf is strong because of the pack. Most men are living this quiet life of desperation and isolation where we're surrounded physically by other men, but mentally and emotionally and through conversation and learning, we don't have those iron sharpen iron relationships. We have like these more rusty relationships. So the Alliance, you know, it's a community we've had since 2016. And what it is it's a community of men who are honorable, who are hungry, humble, and ungodly imperfect. We want to optimize their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health.
When you get older, you notice that only a few of the friend you have are worthy to call a friend. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal, link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.